my fellow panelists. Okay, today we are going to talk about the president of Tanzania. His name is Magufuli. Magufuli is the 50th president of Tanzania, and he's a learned person, as he's known. He's so well versed with education. He has a PhD. So today we are going to see how he tackled the issue of COVID-19, because we know COVID-19 is a global pandemic. It is not only in Tanzania or some parts of the country, but the way he handled COVID-19 actually affected even the neighboring countries, including Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Magufuli said there was no corona. He told his people to go about their business as usual. He opened when countries like Kenya, Uganda were under lockdown. He told his country, no, we don't need a lockdown. We need our economy. So to him, economy was very important compared to the citizen of his country, even the neighboring country like Kenya and Tanzania. Because whatever happens in Tanzania could affect other countries who like Kenya and Uganda, who are his neighbors. So the question is, could it be he was right when he was acting the way he did, just disrespecting the West, because that is what he was doing, that we don't have to listen to those people. They're lying to us. Corona cannot kill us. We can use concussion, things like that, to cure our corona. And we can pray, and then corona will go away. That is what he said, because he said he opened the churches and he told their pastors to pray for corona so that it goes away. Not until just last week, when the vice president of Zanzibar died, when he admitted that there is corona, and now he's telling his people, now you can wear a mask. If you can even use your kanga, because he says kanga is a wrapper that you can even wrap 5 times just to block corona. Now he's like, he has a twisted tongue, whereby one tongue was saying there was no corona, this thing is just invented. It's a way of getting money. The West are just misleading us. We've been having diseases like malaria killing people. This is just like any other disease. Yes, Shiko.
I mean, I don't even know where to start. This is a very dangerous attitude to have, because we know when someone's a leader, people follow their leaders. It's like what happened in the US. It sounds like the same situation where Donald Trump was making fun of wearing masks. It sounds like Magufuli was doing the same thing, saying you don't have to wear a mask, this doesn't exist. It's the same attitude that was seen in the US, and the same attitude that the people who seem to have the highest number of deaths have, like not taking it seriously. And I mean, I have to even throw in Boris Johnson there at the start when he was in hospitals greeting people and saying, oh, look, I'm in a COVID hospital and I'm greeting people. People follow their leaders. So for Magufuli to be so irresponsible and make this about the West versus, Africa is ridiculous, because people were dying. And we know now that Tanzania has one of the highest cases of deaths in Africa, just because of how he handled it. And now he turns around and he says, oh, COVID exists, tie your scarf 5 times. It just sounds ridiculous. And I'm just wondering how somebody who's meant to be quite educated, if I'm not wrong, he's quite educated, can make this kind of irrational comments at such a volatile time in terms of people's safety. It's just shocking.
Thank you, Shiko. Actually, if we compare what happened to America and even England and now Tanzania, actually the numbers are high, what we hear. compared to other countries in East Africa. And you find that the irresponsibility of a leader actually drops down to the citizens, because the citizens are the ones who are suffering. So anybody else with a point to add on what Magufuli did according to his attitude and the repercussion it has on the people of Tanzania, including the people in the world?
Okay, what really sometimes annoys me with the African leaders is the hypocrisy. When they talk about we are a sovereign country, we don't need to listen to the West and all that. Well, actually, we came to learn that the European Union gave Tanzania millions of shillings to fight COVID. And now he was being asked to account for that money. So where did that money go? So because obviously he did not use it to fight COVID. I personally believe, I could be wrong, Maggie can say something maybe, he must have used it in rigging the election that he won the other day fraudulently. So they accept the money and they don't use it for what it's for, and then they start bashing the West. What I believe personally also, and again, I could be wrong, but I believe some of these African leaders already have had the vaccine because of the way we see them mingling with the public, having what are they called, election rallies around with people without masks, without any social distancing. And some of them are older and we know have pre-existing conditions. I'll not be surprised if they themselves, even Magufuli, have had the vaccine, but they're misleading the ordinary people. And in the end, it's the ordinary person who will die because of following them.
Thank you, Shiro. Actually, we can say, because even what Magufuli just said the other day, that there are people from Tanzania who have been sneaking into other countries and getting vaccine, which means he knows, and he himself must have gotten the vaccine. But now misleading the public, telling the public that this disease is not serious, is killing the public. Because a responsible leader, you have to be responsible for the people for your subjects, the people that you're leading. Yes, Keshi, you had something?
Yeah, I've been looking at this case of this man, and in my opinion, yeah, he's a very educated man, but in my opinion, he seems to be very familiar with a lot of conspiracy theories about COVID, about masks, about vaccines, because everything he's talking about this disease seems to be conspiracy theories. And some of these, not just conspiracy theories, but theories that have been around, and some of which could be true, but a lot sounds like conspiracy theories. For example, what he said about masks, that we should only trust masks made in Tanzania, because masks made in other countries, I don't know what. And then he also talked about testing other inanimate things and they found COVID in it. I would really like to know if that's true. But there's a lot of, what he says is very confusing. And when a leader talks confusing like that and then claims that they should only rely on God to help them, yeah, you expose your population. So this irresponsible talk, since he's a very educated man, he should do proper research, and also not just on what he's saying, but the effect of what he says on his population. Because now, like somebody mentioned, they have a high COVID rate, and it's because of what he's saying to the public, where apparently wearing a mask in Tanzania until recently was like a taboo because people don't believe in the disease. So as a leader, he should be held accountable for what is happening in his country. And then he should ask himself, is what I'm putting out responsible? But I doubt he'll do that. So it's just typical of leaders who talk without, like Trump-like behavior, without considering the consequences of his words.
Thank you, Keshi, for that point. We know Magufuli has been having twisted tongue. Today he will say this, and he doesn't want to honor his negligence, because now he's just being what? Just passing blames to others. Because when initially when COVID started, actually he didn't trust any mask. If now he can say that they can make masks in Tanzania, they would have done that from the beginning and then give people the safe masks that are in Tanzania. Why wait until now when he's being told to account for the money that he was given? Now he start telling people that there's COVID and now they should take precautions of wearing masks and having sanitizer, washing their hands. He's just saying that because he's being asked for the money that he used. So we just know that whatever he's saying is just to clear his name, but he's not responsible or he's not guilty. I mean, he doesn't want to admit that he's guilty of what he's done to the people of Tanzania. Anyone else with some point?
Shamsa.
Oh, Shamsa, if you have something, please.
Yeah, thank you. As according to news, once the president, he seems like he's silly man. Like when first case reported in Tanzania, he shut down all the country and the school, he closed the school and everything, and all of a sudden he reopened the schools. Then he announced that Tanzania is a COVID-free country, and then and I feel sad, very sad for the country, the men and women in the country. The government has not performed his duty very well, and they are playing with the lives of the people, innocent people. They are not educating people about the corona and the situation. Instead of that, they're playing politics, and they are just they are playing with the words and everything. Recently the health minister announced that we have no plan about the vaccine to accept and everything. It means they are showing their lack interest in this all the situation. Because if they will say all these things publicly and announced all these things like that, and they will relaxing people that corona is nothing. So Tanzania is very in high ratio of the corona, and people are losing their lives, but government is not taking it seriously. And I simply see it as a dangerous, and the president, he should be responsible, and people should raise their voice against that president. They should start a campaign or something like that. Or I don't know the parliament system in the Tanzania and but the other political parties and the public, they should raise their voice. It's very important, because the approach of his mind, you know clearly telling that what kind of person he is. So this kind of person can't take responsibility of that lives and everything. He can't hold, in my opinion, he should not hold that position, because he is not serious person. Thank you.
Thank you, Shamsa, for your point. Actually, you brought a point where you said that he's playing politics with people's lives, because he knows whatever he's saying is not true. And when you tell your citizens that there's no corona, they will behave carelessly. And even some were saying they don't believe if corona is in Tanzania, because if the responsible institutions have not said so. Because he gagged the media not to announce anything, because the last cases they announced, I think it was last year, April, when they said they had 500 cases and 21 deaths. That was the last time they did their maths, their statistics. So up to now, they haven't. And just because he was asked to account for the money he was given to combat the COVID, is when he now wants to say, okay, COVID is there, but he's like, it is not there. Don't accept the vaccine. You don't know that the vaccine will do what to your body. Still, he wants to cover. He doesn't want to accept that there's COVID. Anyone else with another point? Okay, Jamila.
Yeah, I believe that it's very irresponsible, and when you see all of these leaders who are supposedly meant to be wise and leading countries having these type of opinions, and then there's like a lot of young people, even people like younger than 15, who seem to know how to deal with this situation better than these grown-ups who are meant to be leading the country. It's just, I don't know, if it's just embarrassing. It's the same with Boris Johnson. You're just like, how is it that loads of young people, even like just ordinary people who haven't, taken education to become a politician, they seem to know how to deal with this better than the actual politicians do. And it's just, I just find it embarrassing and annoying that we have to still listen to these people.
Yeah, thank you, Jamila. Actually, it is so embarrassing, as you're saying, because they are only interested in their positions. They are not interested in human beings or their subjects that they have who are under them, who listen to them. And most of them are young people who would want to. But these young people are becoming even more clever and they know what to do. Okay, who else has something? I think it's only a minute or so.
I think people should impeach that president, in my opinion, and that's the final word.
They should, but I don't think if they have the power, because what is done even to the opposition, some of them were running to Kenya just to hide because he was killing them.
No,
So
Kashi,
he's a dangerous man.
yeah, when you are representing people in parliament, people can exert pressure to their members, and they can impeach the president in the parliament. That's not hard, but still, the point is, uh, public should go for that.
Yes, they should, but I don't know who will start.
Yeah, I mean the public needs. Sorry.
No, I was going to say that is almost impossible in Africa. You can't impeach a sitting president.
You need also the support of the public, and if you have a large amount of the public that's in poverty and uneducated, and this president, they know how to work the public. What they usually do is they go and give free things, like nothing that costs them too much money since they're so corrupt. But then they're giving people who are very poor like handouts, and they get their support. And this is a large part of the population. So to impeach someone who's quite popular with a large amount of the population, because again, it's always down to the education. If people are in poverty and they're not educated, it's so easy to manipulate and control a population like that. So it's almost hopeless. The only hope is more education in Africa, like people be educated more, and then also the poverty. Because if somebody's coming to give you some money and that will cover your food for the month just to support them, then you will. If you have nothing else, your first interest won't be to impeach them. So it's just a very difficult position for the people in Tanzania and other parts of Africa.
Yeah,
Very
that's
true.
why they are not giving education to the people. If they will give awareness to the people will raise their voice. And Africa is the country of such a good resources and everything, and naturally very rich country. But due to the corruption of the people, they are suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my time is up. Thank you very much for your contributions. Actually, they were a strong contribution. And now I'll pass it over to our next panelist, Jamila, for the next.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope that you found that discussion interesting and informative. Catch up with us as we continue with the rest of the topics. But for now, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. See you next time.